I'm feeling like a disturbance in the force here, like today, yesterday. I don't. Well, it's hard to explain it. It's like normally, I don't know. Have you ever seen these like videos and people talking about how like 5G or something is messing with birds' location, like their ability to sense location. So there'll just be birds like that seem all dizzy and disoriented and shit, and they're like flying around in circles, not knowing where to go or something. It's something like that. That's kind of how I felt like today, and a few times over the past couple weeks. I felt like this, like, well, like normally I have like really keen, finely tuned senses and everything. I'm talking, and I still do in some ways, but I'm talking about like if I'm walking through a store, or if I'm, like a crowded store or something, and somebody's walking up behind me or coming from around a corner, like you could probably just about like normally I could probably walk through there basically blindfolded and bob and weave in and out and completely avoid bumping into anybody. People could be coming up from behind me and I'd just be like, ugh. You could throw a fucking, fastball at the back of my head and I'd just fucking dodge it, even if there wasn't a sound. That's the kind of senses I would normally have, but like right now I feel like something is off. Like feel a little just a sense of just being disoriented. Yeah, that's attractive. Got the garbage. Let's set it down. Yeah, sleepy and disoriented kind of. Well, I haven't been sleeping that great, but that's fairly common for me. I'm talking about like this brain fog and disorientation to where like, yeah, I feel, yeah, basically like one of those birds or something that normally can sense direction very well, but I feel turned around or something, like everything is off. Everything is just not quite where it should be. My senses, my yeah. And I'll get feeling better and be out doing shit for a little while, and then the next day or some later on in the day, all of a sudden it'll come back on, and I feel kind of disoriented. I mean, I'm used to having like dizziness or disorientation try to hit me sometimes. I mean, and being really good at dealing with it because, and I'm not proud to admit, but the truth of the matter is the reason I'm generally very good at dealing with disorientation or dizziness or you know stuff like that, if I'm being honest, it's probably because of all the experience of years of being drunk. You know, the way that if you've been fucked up, got high, been drunk, and so on enough times over enough years, you get to where you're one of these drunks that, like when you start out drinking, right? You stagger around, bump into walls, fall on your face, you know, you slur your speech, you start talking like this, you're seeing double, you know. Enough years of drinking and getting high and mixing shit, all that kind of stuff. And it comes to a point where You could be totally blitzed. You're not seeing double anymore. You're walking straight, not bumping into fucking walls or falling downstairs. You know? Even when I did have issue, like, even years ago, I'd already developed this shit to where, like, I remember I was at my dad's house. Like, he hasn't lived there for years, but he had these stairs. And I think I was like probably drunk. I had a mixed drink in my hand in a glass. And I was walking down the stairs, and had this kind of like tall, this thick carpet on the stairs, and it caught on the tip of my shoe. And I went end over end down the stairs, landed on my back at the bottom, perfectly fine. Hadn't spilled a drop of my drink. I had like been moved my hand around just right to where I didn't even spill the drink as I was tumbling down the stairs. Remember one time years ago, I was riding a bicycle down the street or so, and had a beer in my hand, hit a big rock that turned the wheel sideways. I went over the front of the handlebars and did like a roll over onto my back. Landed, didn't spill my beer. Got up pretty much fine. I mean, where I hit the handlebars didn't feel very good. Other than that, you know. Oh God. I'm not really proud of this kind of shit, you know, but just saying. I was talking about how, like, equilibrium, how I generally have like an overactive equilibrium, excellent balance. Like I could balance on one foot or walk a straight line even if I was completely shit faced and blindfolded or something, basically. You know. And not only that, but I can sense people off, behind me, off to the side. I can sense if somebody's, 200 yards away in the woods looking at me through a scope or something. I can sense them there, shit like that. Just sense it, heightened senses and a heightened sense of balance and stuff on top of that. Usually. But I feel just kind of tired and disoriented right now. Like, feel off. Is that what normal people feel like all the time? I don't know. Basically, I think that, like, if a normal person felt this weird, like, wobbliness or, like, unbalanced feeling within them, most people would probably fall on their face or something. Or they'd wreck their car into a fucking tree or something. Or if they walked into a crowd, they'd be bumping into everybody. If I walk into a crowded store and I'm walking around and I'm coming close to bumping into people and people are getting fairly close to me without me even noticing that their approach from a long ways off, then I know something is off with me at that time, because that's not normal for me.